So season 3 of Druck ended like a week and a half ago for me as I'm filming this. What happened was, since I last made a video and uploaded it for you guys, I tried to film 4 different times and it just did not work, and I decided in the editing process that I hated it and that the videos that I recorded would never see the light of day. Hopefully I won't do that when I'm editing this video, but you never know. Yeah, so I wasn't like ignoring you guys, I just couldn't. But you know, the good news is that we finally made it out of Hell Week and we're on the other side, and it was a tough journey. It was extraordinarily long, longer than any of us expected, but we powered through it and we made it to the other side. I will say I greatly enjoyed episode 9 more than I enjoyed episode 8, and not just because I liked the last clip of episode 9 more than I liked the last clip of episode 8. I think it's easier for me to deal with Davi ghosting Matteo than it is for me to deal with Matteo ghosting Davi, because I didn't like how in episode 8 David said, "Contact me if you want," and it took until Thursday for Matteo to do just that. I wanted more communication there. Even if they're not like fluffy scenes where the characters are like together, I wanted them to talk more. I'd rather have them not talking because David is running away and he's scared than them not talking because Matteo is possibly second guessing his attraction to David. I really didn't like that song that was used in clip 2 of episode 8. Falling for you was my mistake. What? So as you guys might know, if you're not new here, I had a couple of concerns about the outing storyline. I was really worried about Davi being a silent victim, especially since he wasn't gonna be here in this episode, even though the story was about him. And I felt very encouraged when I saw the characters, they came together to talk about how to retaliate, but then Matteo said, wait, we need to ask David what David wants. So the next clip we see Laura and we learn that David isn't doing well, but I was glad to learn that he was safe and that he's with somebody that he trusts. I haven't mentioned this before, but I think that I should have. I really like that we don't have a Sonia character necessarily. I really like that we have Laura as a character, like seeing them interact, and then that fucking text just like, I love Matteo's mom so much. I know we only saw her for like 30 seconds, but like her text where she called him her sunshine. When I was watching the original, I really wanted more of a storyline with Isak's mom. So when we got to the Oh Helga Not clip, I was like, I'm glad that Isak and Evan are back together, but I wanted more interaction with his parents. What the hell? Maybe they could have driven him there. So when Matteo got that text asking if he'll come to church on Thursday, I was like, yes, if we're gonna have to wait until Friday to see David, then that means on Thursday we'll have a separate clip with Matteo and his mom, and we'll get a very nice clip of them reuniting, and then we'll get a reunion clip between David and Matteo, and one doesn't have to interrupt the other, you know? But obviously that's not quite what happened. Okay, but before we talk about what actually happened on Thursday, let us first talk about my beautiful girl, Amira. Even though one of my ships was in trouble, I was glad to see that my other ship, my bro TP, was just sailing away. I was so glad to hear the news that Amira is gonna get her own season. You do not know how tense I was, wondering if this was gonna be the last time I was ever gonna see these characters, if Amira was just never gonna get her season. And it's like that fan fiction cliche of she let out a breath she didn't even know she was holding. I was just so relieved to discover that my girl would finally get her own season. We're gonna meet the German version of Yusuf and the German version of the Balloon Squad. Yes, please. Now that we've gotten that out of the way. Let's talk about Thursday. I expected a fluffy fucking clip. Instead, what I got was frustration and anxiety. Oh, I'm not gonna worry if fucking David hurt himself or got lost or if somebody else hurt him. And Matteo just left his mom hanging. I wanted some explanation of, oh, I have an emergency, you know? Where he doesn't just fucking turn away and leave when she's in the middle of hugging him. But saying that, I did really like that clip. I thought that that interaction between Matteo and his mom was so sweet. It's so clear that they love each other so much. I wonder if she like originally planned to just continue singing along with choir practice, because when she sees him for the first time, she keeps on singing, but then maybe she registers a little bit later that he's not feeling well, and that's when she decides to go to him. Really hoping for that reunion clip, but instead he doesn't even come home. It's not even just that Matteo and David haven't reunited and haven't talked. I don't even know if this dude is safe, but I decided to try and make peace with that. On Friday, I'd wake up and hopefully there will be a nice fluffy clip, or maybe David would just show up at his PE exam, stick it to the man, and there would be this huge confrontation scene or something. But no, we got like a 1.5 minute long clip and David was nowhere to be found. And maybe you saw the last video that I posted where I was just not in good shape, and I decided that in order to get through my day, I could not go on my phone and keep on refreshing and refreshing and refreshing and hoping for another clip to drop, because I did that at the end of episode 8 where I was like, please tell me that's not the end of the fucking episode, and it ended up being the end of the episode. That just makes it all worse. So I really had to do some soul searching on that Friday, really get to the root of why do I let this TV show affect me in such a way. I needed to find inner peace within myself. And finding inner peace within myself did not include scrolling and refreshing. Hell no. Did not go on the internet until I got home from work. And the first thing I did was check my comments on that YouTube video that I posted. And thankfully, you guys told me that there was indeed a reunion clip. And I was like, oh, thank God. What do you guys think of the reunion clip? Because I saw a lot of discussion on Tumblr before the reunion clip happened about how throughout the episode we had Laura tell Matteo to give Davi time. We had Abdi telling Matteo that no, it's okay that you're not there with him because he decided he needed to be alone. And we also had Matteo in that first clip say that we have to think about what David wants and basically allow David to cope in his own way and not to have Matteo try to save him when he doesn't want that, when he's decided that this is how he wants to cope with his situation. Yeah, going from that, hoping that if there's a reunion clip, it would be as a result of David seeking out help from Matteo. And even if he chose like the wrong way to go about coping with his situation, since it's the situation that he's in, he would be the one to decide how to go about coping with that, and that would be valid. But that's not like quite how things went down. But then that said, this is my favorite version of Oh Helga Not, because it involved both Matteo and Davi talking. It's not silent or set to music in slow motion. It's them talking and even yelling, and I liked all of the echoing, and I really liked hearing what David had to say. We get to actually hear from his perspective. At this point, we already know a lot more about David than we did about Evan, and most important, we're hearing all of this stuff from David himself. So that part I liked, and also the I love you bit was really cute. I love that Matteo says it and walks away, and then he says that he's not going to say it again. He's like looking from the side to side. Like, that's just so cute. And then with the next clip, okay, so I mentioned before with episode 7, I really liked that the characters didn't just jump in the bed and have sex when they weren't ready to, and instead they just went for a hug, and I thought that was such a good choice that really respected where the characters were at that point in time. And then by the time the characters do have sex, it's better for them because they're actually ready for it. They're at a better place in their relationship. They love each other. There's no secrets. You know that they're going to stay together, that something awful isn't going to happen right after they have sex. I liked that, but also the scene itself was very intimate and loving and romantic. I saw people, they complimented the scene by also throwing shade at Scum France. And I mean, I thought that the whole paint, like, it was pretty. I liked all of the different colors, but it definitely felt very, it was the beginning of the end for me, because I discovered I actually liked Hell Week a lot more than I liked what was on the other side of Hell Week. We'll talk about Scum France later. I just felt like this scene, it was more, I could buy that it was Matteo's first time. He actually said that he was nervous, and it was more realistic in that way. We got a long morning after clip. We got them cuddling together. We got them holding hands. We had Matteo asking Davi questions and Davi answering them. I'm just gonna guess that Laura, either she like overheard Matteo and Davi come home the night before, or she must have overheard Matteo when he yelled out that he was hungry, because she made 3 eggs, not 1 for herself, but 3 for herself, Davi and Matteo. So she knew that her brother was home and that he brought home some company. I love that we have Laura, because with the other Evans, I don't know anybody else who is important in their life besides their Esocs, but I like that David, we at least know that he has Laura and they love each other. They're there for each other. She clearly cares about him a lot, and that's very nice to see. And then following that, we have Davi meeting the boy squad, and I guess he's joined the boy squad. That's like just what I wanted. This is the best boy squad. I love them so much, and they're just so funny. The scene in episode 9 was it was a short scene, but it was good. Like, Matteo told Abdi that they're the best friends that anyone could have, and Carlos asking if they were gonna be bros forever. Jonas's face, like his face, so emotional. And can we just talk about the sexual tension between Carlos and Abdi? I do not believe for a second that if everybody else on the face of the earth was wiped out and it was just Carlos, Abdi, and Matteo, that Carlos and Abdi would then turn to Matteo and be like, so which of us would you want to have sex with? No, there's clearly a lot more going on between Abdi and Carlos. Come on, come on. The way that Carlos teases Abdi, it's clearly because he has a crush on Abdi, clearly. And I like that when they go to the secretary's office, when Davi goes in, it's just Matteo there waiting for him, but then Matteo's friends all arrive, and by the time that Davi comes back, it's like Matteo's entire social circle, including a bunch of girls that he's probably never seen before. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll just update everybody on my situation. After that, Kiki then goes in. She says that she's planning the Abby prank, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought that our Abby prank was to retaliate and that we needed to follow up. Now that David's back, ask him what does he want to do going forward with this Abby prank. Okay, so he's gonna be assessed correctly, which is great, but we haven't at all dealt with the fucking video. Who the fuck filmed that video? And who is this kid, Stefan or Stefan, who decided to distribute this video to the entire class without even thinking, oh, maybe that's a secret, maybe he doesn't want to come out to everybody in the entire school? What did he mean to out Davi like that? Or was this like his way of trying like solidarity something? Because a lot of the comments on that video were like, oh my god, that teacher's such a dick. Maybe he was not trying to out Davi as trans, but trying to out the teacher as a jerk. I don't know. So what do you guys think of the outing storyline? On one hand, I'm really glad that it didn't get in the way of character development or relationship development, but I also wish that we had dealt with this a little bit more. But I'd rather that feel incomplete than to deal with the outing storyline a lot more and then miss out on the relationship development between Davi and Matteo. But then it turns out that the Abby prank is just them like blowing bubbles and, you know, confetti and shit. Dude, I thought that they were gonna like draw and quarter somebody, like really. But yeah, glad that they didn't draw and quarter somebody without Davi's consent. I thought that the last two clips were very, very good. Liked seeing Matteo and Davi together and all happy, and Matteo saying that he has like pretty much everything he wants. He doesn't even want his weed back. I thought for sure that he got the weed back. I think it was in episode 2. He said to Abdi that he's in the process of getting the weed back, but he's not going to give it back to Abdi. And I thought that's why Matteo had such an unlimited stash, because he was smoking all of Abdi's weed as a punishment for making him deal with all those fucking trust circles that he didn't even deal with. Sam smoked all of Abdi's weed, and Abdi said, "without me." So I'm thinking that maybe Sam will eventually try to make things up to Abdi by smoking some weed with him next time she gets a hold of some weed. Hi, hello. It is Sunday, June 9th. So I guess, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after I filmed the rest of the video that you saw. So you probably noticed like what was going on with my nose at the time. Oh my goodness. I have been battling one illness after another this entire season. Either like I couldn't breathe out of my nose at all and I was so congested, and my nose would start running while I was in the middle of filming and I didn't always catch it in time. Like what happened with the last video where I was like, at what point do I notice what's going on with my nose? And I wipe up my nose and it doesn't happen. I just continued talking and there was stuff in my nose. Or like I couldn't get through a sentence without coughing. There was that one week when I had the tummy ache, the nausea. It was a little brutal for a minute, but I think I am healthy again. So fingers crossed I'll stay healthy. Yeah, so this video is coming at you like a little late because I was anxious for a number of reasons, which led to me having multiple mental blocks in the entire video making process when it came to like me writing notes so that I can know what to say. When it came to me filming, as I told you, I filmed 4 different videos, and then in the editing process, it's just couldn't really get my head around it. I'm not totally happy with the video that I made for 308, so I think that was a big concern, in that I want to like clarify some things and maybe rephrase some things. Or I'm not like at the stage where I'm like, I was a fool to distrust that Druck would handle things perfectly, because there's still some things that I'm not cool with, but I just wish that I had said some things differently. But then just talking about that is such a big task in its own, and also talking about how I feel about these 2 episodes, and then talking about everything else that I felt about this season that I didn't mention in my other videos. So I was thinking I could just make another video where I talk about like how I feel about episode 8 and like how I feel about what I said and what I want to clarify and whatever the hell. And then also talk about my feelings on the season as a whole, and particularly with the last 3 episodes. But to be honest, I do also want to make other videos that aren't even about scum at all, and I'm worried that if I were to make another kind of video when you guys are expecting like a scum related video, you guys would be like, what the hell is this? I don't mind if you guys aren't interested and don't watch. That's completely fine. What I do not want is for, if you're uninterested and don't want to watch, you click on the video and then say, hey, when are you gonna post XYZ video about scum? Not saying that you guys would do that anyway, that's just like a worry that I have. Anyway, apart from that, I've been doing great since this season ended. Like, especially with these last 3 episodes, I've been so anxious every Friday and throughout the week as well. So it's just nice to like have a break from that. And yeah, this video's going up super late, but since that was the last episode of the season, I don't have to worry about, oh, I'll say something in that video, and by the time I post it, like half of the next episode will come out and everything that I'll say would be irrelevant or whatever the hell. But then it turns out there's an Abby Ball special, which I'm happy about, but it also means I have to post this video very soon. So I don't know when I'll be able to post the Abby Ball special review video, but if you guys are interested in my thoughts on that, like maybe next weekend on Saturday morning for me, since I live in Pacific Standard Time, I'm from California, maybe we can watch it together on Rabbit if like at least one other person is interested in watching it with me on Rapid. Then I'll do that, and then we can talk about the episode and watch it together. Yeah? So let me know about that in the comments below. But what do you guys think is gonna happen in this Abby Ball episode? I'm hoping that Sarah and Leonie will decide to go to Abby Ball together, because like a few weeks back, or maybe even months back, when all of this shit was happening with Matteo and Sarah, Leonie texted Sarah and said, well, we're still going to Abby Ball, right? Even if you're not going to go with Matteo. And then Sarah didn't answer because I guess she was too heartbroken over Matteo. But they can go as each other's dates, and then they'll realize how perfect they are for each other. I swear to God, I always end up shipping the Emma and Sonia characters together. But these two especially, like, okay, you know how like in episode 8, season 3, we see Davi and he's walking with Leonie, and then we also saw in episode 10, he was dancing with Leonie, or maybe that was in the Insta story, but still, it's like Leonie was mad at Matteo for like breaking her best friend's heart, but Davi like stood her up at a party, and she doesn't seem too angry with him. So what if she like never had a crush on him to begin with? She only made up that she thought he was mega hot because she saw that something was going on with Sarah and Matteo, and she was like kind of jealous, but also like, oh, well, I have a crush on somebody too, and hoping that would make Sarah jealous, but instead Sarah wasn't jealous. But during this Abby Ball, that's when they're gonna realize that they're perfect for each other. Also, we're gonna track down Stefan, and there's gonna be some like really silly song that's playing during the Abby Ball that Davi's gonna be way into, and Matteo's gonna call Davi the man of his dreams. That's what's gonna happen this episode, right? Anyway, that's that. I'm definitely hoping that Amira's season, like, I love Amira, I can't wait, but I can't wait. I want Amira's season to start when she's in university, because then that opens the door to more like university seasons to follow after hers. Also, if they're not filming season 4 yet, then hopefully that will give them more time to do all of the research necessary to make season 4 super awesome. So yeah, hopefully that's what's gonna happen. And also, for selfish reasons, I kind of want to break from the videos. So if we have season 4 right away, I'm a little burnt out if you can't tell. But then hopefully when season 4 starts, I'll feel rejuvenated and I'll feel like ready to make videos. Although I do think I'm gonna have to rethink things, because the way I make videos now is like super time consuming and daunting and stressful. But hey, the best part about it is getting all of the comments from you guys. You guys leave such amazing comments and you're great. I love talking to you guys. So thanks for that. Thank you. You guys have been the best audience I could ever hope for.